Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Riverbend Springs. I do hope you're all doing really well and having a great day. So yeah, welcome back to Riverbend. It's been almost a month since I've done anything on here, so I'm keen to get back on here and get cracking on, because we've got plenty to do as always. Now, in my usual fashion, we're pretty much picking up where we left off in the last episode. We've got some road up fields to get picked up. I've got the baler attached to the fence here. We're going to go and bale up one of the fields for grass bales, keep them unwrapped and put them into storage to keep as a backlog as food for the sheep. And the field we're going to do that in is field 64, the smaller one that's on a slight hill here just on our right hand side. We're going to get this one all baled up, like I say, and that's going to be food for the sheep. The other two fields, which we'll go and show now and have a bit of a wander around and a catch up. So the best place to go is this way, I think. Down here there's a little bit of a bridge that takes us to these fields here. We've got two fields of grass here that we mowed up in the last episode, and we're going to obviously get those picked up with the pickup trailer and get it taken over to... We're going to put it in the bunker first, of course, get it turned into silage, and use a bit of that for the TMR machine, which is it's stocked up. We've got plenty in the TMR machine for now, so we can essentially potentially profit from that, or stick a bit in the TMR machine, whichever takes our fancy. But the plan has always been, at some point when this barley is ready to harvest, which is going to be next month in July, my idea was I was going to essentially stitch all these three fields together. But then I've had a bit of a closer look at it, because it's got to feel right as well, and because we've got this bridge coming in here into this area of land, it actually made, when I was up in the sky having a bit of a look around earlier, I kind of thought, well, actually no, I don't necessarily want to stitch this field here on our left to these two here, because then that would do away with this lane and do away with the necessity for this bridge, which I really quite like, to be honest. And it's what I've got to say, it's one of the many features of this map. I know it's obviously it's a base game map, but it is really nice in my opinion. I've always really appreciated and liked Riverbend Springs. I think it's a beautiful map, very immersive, full of detail, and I still really quite like it. It's like I say, it's a lovely thing. So I may well stitch these two fields together, make these a bit bigger, and potentially keep it as arable, and see what we can get seeded in here, and keep this field as another grass field potentially, just to keep the grass and the hay stocked up. So we're not. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that idea until obviously the barley is ready to harvest, because I'm not going to waste that, of course. It's at growth stage 7 of 8, so like I say, come July it's going to be ready to go. So we'll dig the harvester out, get this up, and regardless of what state this field's in, we're just going to run the cultivator, join them both together, and get a slightly bigger field. Essentially, it would be a decent sized field, to be fair, when it's all done. But yeah, we've got to get the grass picked up first, of course. So that's that. So like I say, plenty to crack on with. Like I said, the TMR mixer machine has got a quantity of hay, silage and straw in there at the minute. Timing wise, we should be all right, because when we've not got a huge amount of straw left. The cows have currently got, let's just jump into the menu and remind myself, but I think they've got about 71,954 litres of straw as bedding in there at the minute. So there's a decent amount, and obviously come next month we'll get straw from the barley here and be able to get that baled up and put down into the bale shed there as a backlog to fall back on as well. We do still have a couple of bit of straw bales in the bale shed, so hopefully timing wise it should work out quite well. So yeah, plenty to do. Obviously this grass field has been we cut that I think in the last episode if I remember correctly, so I could roll it, but then at the same time we're in no rush in that respect, so we'll just jump forward into next month and it'll carry on. I'll remind myself where we're up to with fertiliser on this one, actually. 50%, right, okay. And look at that. I missed a tiny little bit. Shocking. Dear me. So, yeah. But before we do crack on, I just wanted to bring to light something that I've been fiddling around with in the last couple of days. And that's a mod called... sorry, forgive me. It's not a mod. It's a program, a little bit of software called Reshade. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. It is a program I've had installed for quite a while now. I used it towards the back end of FARMERSIM 22, and it's a really powerful piece of software. It's brilliant. It's not just for Farming Simulator, it's for any game, essentially, I think, or almost any game. And it's a program that you install on top of your game file, and it essentially allows you to really play around with the visuals of the particular game you're in. You've got reshade presets that you can download that people create, and essentially that's just a load of settings using various filters and bits and bobs that you can have for Reshade. Now, for me, FARMERSIM 25 is as beautiful as it is, and I've finally got the game to where I wanted it to be performance-wise when it comes to the smoothness of the game and the way the game actually runs. But Reshade is like an extra thing on top of that that adds. I suppose. Well, you can turn it to whatever you want it to. I mean, for example, I'll bring it up onto the screen now. So you bring up the main Reshade menu with the home button, and as you can see, there's a huge amount of things. I mean, you can make your game look like you're playing it through an 80s TV, for example. Do you know what I mean? There's so many different things that you can add in. Like there's bloom settings. There's hundreds of them. I'm just scrolling down here at the minute. This is just all the stuff that you can get with it as default. But it's really, really cool. It really is. And I've been playing around with it for the last couple of days, just trying to find a setting or a preset that I feel adds a little bit more realism just to the ambience of the game. Now, this is what the game looks like standard, so I'm gonna turn this shader preset off that I've currently got running, and I'm just gonna turn it to 0 there to reshade preset. Right, there we go. So that's what the game looks like standard. It's very colourful. It is very rich in colour, but I feel, and I think I've learnt this opinion from a few people as well over the last few months, that I don't know, it doesn't feel, it's not that it's cartoony in any way, but it is very deep and rich in colour, which is nice, you know, and I suppose it all depends on the screen that you're watching on and all that you're playing it on and all that kind of stuff. But I've just felt it was a little bit, maybe too much, and I've tried a handful of presets, and some of them just haven't quite worked for me. But one of them I did find, and it's actually by Carl Farms. Those of you who know Carl Farms, he's responsible for making some wonderful case mods in the past in FARMERSIM 22 and for FARMERSIM 25. And he'd actually released back in January his Reshade preset file. So I've downloaded that, and I've made a couple of alterations to that as well, just to suit my own personal preferences, I suppose. So this is it here. So if I click on select and load that up, as you see there, the screen flicked, and it's it just, personally, I just think it looks better, richer. I don't know. It's the depth of the colour isn't quite there, but that's what I kind of wanted to achieve from it. I feel this feels really, really nice, to be honest. It doesn't take away from any of the performance of the game. You can set presets that really will make your game struggle, so you know, be careful what you do if you do use it. It is a PC only thing, of course, not something unfortunately you can load into consoles, but yeah, just after a little bit of time playing around with it, I think I've got it to a stage that I'm really quite happy with it. So I've sampled it in on this map, I've sampled it over on Calmsden Farm, or Bridge Farm, or whatever you want to call it now, and also Palanier, and it just feels bang on for me personally. So please do let me know what you think in the video description below, in the comments, sorry. Let me know what you think of the colours and now the way that the video now looks. I'd appreciate your feedback. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I really quite like this, to be honest. I think it's working really, really well. So that's that. So we need to crack on anyway. We've got plenty to do. It's 11:30 in the morning, just gone. So we're going to get this lot baled up. I think what I may well do is pop a bit of music behind this job, get this lot baled up. Thankfully, even though this field is on a hill, we've got the bale flipper on the baler here, and I have also turned off the wrapping function, of course, so that we don't accidentally wrap the bales, because I don't want them to be wrapped. We don't want silage from this one. We want the grass. And I have set it to automatically drop as well. Now this is a function, because I play with my gamepad. When I bring up the F1 menu, for example, it brings up the bits and bobs that I can do with my buttons on the gamepad. But because I do play on PC, when I change the control functions from gamepad to keyboard, it brings up a whole load more options. And sure enough, the option for turning on and off the bale wrapper function is within those. There isn't actually one I can do with my gamepad. And also the drop mode of actually manually dropping the bale or automatically dropping the bale is in that as well by pressing Z. So I've set that to automatically drop, so hopefully now I should just be able to run this around on courseplay. It will automatically drop the bales, of course, and not wrap them, and throw it into a bit of a cinematic, stick a bit of music behind it, get this one done. I may well include the picking up of the grass with the forage trailer afterwards as well. I'm not too sure. We'll see. I'll see how see how it takes me. But for now, we'll crack on. We'll get this job done, and I'll see you in a wee while's time.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I as the sun goes down. No, it doesn't even matter to me where I go. Just feel I need to take a ride. I don't know when I'll get back. Keep on going and relax tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I I'm not heading for the stars, driving down this boulevard tonight. Yeah, playing Coldplay on repeat, watching people on the street as I go by. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
Right, all sorted. We've got the grass all baled up there, field 64, and I've just finished off compacting the what's in the bunker here. Now it does help to keep the trailer attached, obviously. With the weight of this thing on its own is just over 16 tons, but when you keep the trailer attached, it's just north of 27. So well worth doing. Helps get the compaction done a lot quicker. So we've now got 231,412 litres in here. So let's blanket that silo. Yep, there we go, all done. It doesn't look very much, I know, because the bunker is a pretty big thing, let's be honest. So, but yeah, it's all good, and we got 25 bales off a field 64. So at 3,500 litres of bale, we've got 87,500 litres of grass there. Now that is all, like I said before, that is all kind of put aside for the sheep. Now I know it's quite a lot, but it'll sort them out for the near future and the distant future as well. They don't go through a huge amount of food very quickly, do they? So they're going to be fine. So we'll jump in the Merlot now and get all those picked up out of the field. Get that done. We'll leave a couple in front of their trough. I think, you know, just for now, I'll just pull this up here. Turn the engine off. Job's a good one. Definitely needs a bit of a clean by the looks of things, but yeah, we'll grab the Merlot, grab that trailer, and we'll get all these bales picked up. We'll get that job done, and then I think moving forward from there, that might be us till next month, which I think I will speed up time. when this is done, and we can then dig the harvester out and hopefully get the barley out the ground, and then crack on with the work stitching those two fields together. That's what I've been looking forward to for quite some time. There we are. Let's get this thing picked up. There we go. Lovely stuff. Right. Let's go pick some bales up. There we go, quick job done. Now please excuse my bale stacking, ladies and gentlemen. It was a little bit higgledy-piggledy, wasn't it? But it got done nonetheless. So we'll just roll round here and drop these two off in front of the trough for the sheep here. That'll keep them sorted for the near future. But we've now got plenty to fall back on, of course. Let's just... I've got the trailer selected, that's why. There we go, that's better. Drop them down there. Just shove them in a bit. That'll do. Bring that one in as well, just a little bit more. Nice, that'll do. That'll do just fine. So, that now, like I said before, leaves us in good stead to jump forward into July. Now, come July, we're going to have the barley's going to be ready to harvest. And shortly after that, I think August is going to be time for the wheat. And then what we'll need to do in July as well is give the corn over towards the south of the map there in field 76, is it? I can't remember the name of the number of the field, actually. But that's going to need its second coat of fertiliser. So first off, we'll get the barley done. And then shortly after that, we'll give the corn its second coat of fertiliser. And then it'll be another harvest time as well after that. And then we do need to lease out the for the corn field eventually. When that's ready to do, we'll be leasing out a corn header for the harvester for that. Just for that one-off, as it were. So, we'll park this thing up. There we are. Nice and neat. That'll do just fine. Right, okay, so, see you next month. Here we go, bright and early everyone, welcome to July. So, we're just going to go and grab the trailer very quickly, because there's one or two things we need to crack on with before we get on with the harvest. The barley is obviously ready to go, so I'm very keen to get in the harvester and get that out the ground, but before we do that, we need to top up the cows with a little bit of food. Now, the timing of everything has actually worked out quite well. thankfully, which I'm very grateful for. They've got just over 8,500 litres of TMR left in their trough in the big cow shed there. So we're going to go and grab one trailer load for now, just see him through the first part of this day. Well, I'll probably see him through for quite a bit, to be honest, but the TMR mixer has now completely ran out of most of its products, but we've got a good quantity of TMR in there. I think, if I remember correctly, it's somewhere around 300,000 litres. We'll just remind ourselves of that in 2 seconds. Let's just pull around to it now. I'll jump out of cab mode, actually, just to give myself a fighting chance. Let's line that up a bit better than that, shall we? Where are we? There we go. That'll do nicely. So, yep, 322,568 litres of TMR. That'll do for me. So, let's get this one filled up. There we are. Pull in here, get it tipped. Where's that trigger? There we are. That'll do for me. So they've got 57,000 litres of straw left as bedding. So thankfully we haven't run out of that, as I was worrying a couple of episodes back. We still have a handful of bales behind us there in the bale shed that we can throw in here, and obviously when we've done the barley harvest, we'll get a load of straw out of that. They've got 33,000 litres of manure they've produced and 42,000 litres of slurry. The biogas plant is completely empty now as well, so we're not earning anything at this present time, so we need to get that shifted over, but we'll get that done in due course. I'm not actually too sure why I'm driving this way with the trailer. We need it over at the field, don't we? But we'll sort that out in a minute or two's time. Let's get ourselves up here, get the harvester started, get that engine warmed up, because it's not been ran for a while. In fact, while I'm here, actually, we'll fill that up with fuel. There we go. Yeah, let's get that done. Needs a bit of topping up. So yeah, let's jump in this big lad for the first time in a while, eh? It has been a while. So let's get it out of here carefully. I think as well I shall jump out of cab mode just to make sure I don't clatter into things while I'm hitching up the trailer with the header. Oh, goodness me. There we are. Lovely stuff. Right, we'll run this way down to the barley field, I think. So yeah, we'll get the barley out of the ground. The sheep are doing fine. They haven't actually produced a huge amount of wool, to be fair. I think it's just over 1,000 litres of the stuff, so get cracking, you lot. Need to earn some money from you as well. And yeah, it's all good. Big mountain of manure there over in the cow shed. So we've got a bit of work to do. That'll be next episode, though, when we start. We'll get the milk taken over to the dairy. We'll get the slurry and the manure put into the biogas plant. And in fact, while I'm here, let's just pull that up here. I just need to see where we're up to with the bunker that we covered over earlier on. Bring up that menu. 86%. Oh, brilliant. So that's not far away. Nice one. To be fair, I did jump forward a day into... I did skip a day, didn't I, to get ourselves into July. So it's not surprising when I think about it. But yeah, let's carefully thread this thing around these roads. Careful not to knock over any signposts. There we are. I hope no traffic's going to... Please don't turn left. Thank you. This thing takes up most of the road here. So, where am I going to pop this header trailer? In fact, I think what I'll do... Oh, I've done the sign now, haven't I? Never mind. You're just going to have to wait there, my friend. I'm bigger than you, and I need the road. So, I'm just going to pop the header trailer there, I think. That's as good a place as any. Get the combine unfolded, wait for him to pass. There we are. Excuse the trees. So let's be careful not to destroy my crop. Any of it at all. Should have enough room to hitch up the header here. There we go. Lovely stuff. First harvest of the year, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of barley. So, I think it's no time like the present. Let's get this thing up and running. Nice. So in fact, let's just make sure I've got the straw swath enabled. Yeah. Rock and roll. So, let's crack on and get this barley out the ground. Right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. The barley is out of the ground. Now, because this field had had all the work done to it, all the yield increases were done, so the yield was really quite good off of that. We got 27,693 litres out of this field. It's all still in the trailer at the minute, so I've got no idea what it's worth. As soon as we get that into the farm silo, time-saving stock check, of course, will tell us what that is worth now and what it'll be worth come best sell time. But for now, I'm going to spend a bit of time and just tidy all this lot up. Obviously, we've got all the straw to get picked up out the field as well. That's going to go straight into bale form and into the shed. And then that's obviously for cow bedding and for a bit of TMR possibly in the future. Didn't take very long, of course. The field ain't very big, is it? But nonetheless, a good job well done. It's nice to get back into the harvester, isn't it? Especially when the sun's shining in the summer months of July. Wonderful stuff. But yeah, I think for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. The next episode will start off. Obviously, we've got lots of little bits to get done, I suppose. That's what I term them as. We've got this straw to get picked up, of course. We've got the milk to sell. We've got the slurry and the manure to get shifted over to the biogas plant. I'm sure there's a few other odd jobs as well, but we'll have to get sorted. But for now, I'm going to call it here. And obviously, of course, as well, we've got to stitch these two fields together. I will, of course, be picking up exactly where we've left off. So, like I did say earlier, I know this grass is growing. It's at growth stage 2 of 4, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over that. The whole purpose of this was to get this barley out the ground as soon as that's done. As soon as we've got the straw picked up, we'll stitch these two fields together. and have a considerably bigger arable field. So that's all to look forward to. But like I said, for today's episode, I am going to call it here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please consider giving the video a like if you can. It does do wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or packs, and you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, as always, I would be massively appreciative. And also, if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates, and again, you like the idea of supporting the channel and helping out a creator, but you also like the idea of a 10% reduction in the cost of that server, please consider using my G-Portal affiliate link, which again will be in the video description below. Any help and support there, ladies and gentlemen, would always be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.